In this video, we'll look at the question, what types of things can you buy and sell on eBay? Think of eBay as the world's largest garage sale. Like, forget your local yard sales, your flea markets and bazaars. There's another venue in town, and he's bigger, has a lot more to choose from, and you don't have to change out of your pajamas or leave your home in order to participate. There's so many strange and wonderful things to sell on eBay that it would take a whole title and then some to list them. I thought the easiest way to describe what you can buy and sell is to take a snapshot by looking at the different categories of items available by going to ebay.com, which is where we are right now. You can see that here in the web address line, ebay.com. I'm just going to scroll down a little bit, and you'll see right over here on the left something called categories. This will give you a really good idea of what you can buy and sell. I mean, you can see here antiques, art, baby. Now, baby doesn't mean you can buy and sell babies, but you can sell baby-related items, books. I'm just going to jump down a little bit. You can see computers and networking. You can also see very popular titles here, DVDs and movies, as well musical instruments. And a little lower, you can see video games as well as toys and hobbies. You're really going to be hard-pressed to not find something that you're looking for here. If I scroll up to the top, I'm just going to move to this area here called Ending Now. This gives you some more specifics, like, for example, DVD box sets, cell phones, even cars, designer sunglasses, iPods, or MP3 players. There's so much that you can buy and sell on eBay. It's actually quite staggering. But with that said, you're always going to get that person who lists something that's somewhat questionable. You may have seen it on the news or in the newspapers or in the press in some capacity where someone has pushed the proverbial envelope and is selling something fairly questionable on eBay, and it's brought a lot of attention to eBay and that individual making the sale. What I'm going to do next is take you through some of those examples. I thought that'd be interesting just to show you those things. I like to call this section of this video Truth or Scam, and I'm going to leave it to you to decide. I'll give you my opinion, I'm sure, throughout, but I'll give you some examples of some of those things that I've seen on eBay, and I'll let you decide in the end. I should also preface this slideshow by saying these aren't the actual images from the listings. I've just taken kind of a reasonable facsimile of what I did see on eBay or in the news, and instead of just bringing the actual listing in, you're just going to see a representation of it. So let's get started. I'm just going to toggle over to my presentation, and here we are. Here's our first listing. This is actually somebody who's selling 11 words that will put your kids to sleep. Now, that was interesting, and after reading into the description, really what they were selling you is an email. If you were the lucky winner of this auction, this seller would email you 11 words. If you were to whisper those 11 words into your child's ear, it would immediately put them to sleep. Now, that was the claim of the listing. I guess depending on how sleep deprived you are as a parent, you may think that this is something that works and you may bid. I'm not sure what the success of this listing was, but this is just one of the examples in my Truth or Scam section. Let's move on to the next example. Here we have another interesting listing, and this one caused quite a bit of controversy, to be honest with you. What people are doing are selling advertising space. But what makes this special, this is not like a billboard or anything, as you can see. This person is actually selling advertising space on his wife's abs or on her stomach for a week. So what that means is people can bid, and the winning bidder would be able to put maybe their company name on this individual's wife's stomach for a whole week. I also saw this same type of listing, but for pets. So someone will actually sell advertising space on their pet and take it from there. So again, another special situation where I like to look at this. Is it truth or scam? Because again, how are you going to be able to confirm that in this case, this individual's wife actually has your advertisement on her stomach? And also that begs the question, how valuable is that type of advertising space? So with all that said, let's move on to the next example. Now, this one was really interesting. It gave me quite a laugh, actually. A miracle cloth. And all this means is that this cloth can remove anything. I mean, this ad was claiming that it could remove any type of stain, scratches, or scars. Now, the part I left out of this slide here is saying that that's actually on your skin as well. I'm just going to pause there to let you soak that in a little bit. They're saying that if you have a scar on your arm, if you were to wipe it with this cloth, goodbye to the scar. So anyway, just giving you some examples again, truth or scam, I'll leave that one to you. The next example is a hypnotic necklace. So you can get people to do what you tell them using this hypnotic necklace. So again, I mean, what can you say to that? You purchase it, you bring it home, you give it a try, it doesn't work. Is there a return policy? I mean, that's really up to you. So let's move on. This is a good one as well because this is just a variation on several that I did see on eBay. And what this is a treasure chest. And notice the question mark. Filled with rare artifacts, question mark, $sign, question mark. You have to be careful for those types of punctuations when you're looking at items on eBay. Because really, this is the seller asking you the question. So they're saying, is this a treasure chest? Is it filled with rare artifacts? Is it worth anything? So really, those are just questions they're asking you. You know, try your luck, make the purchase, and see what you get. The next example is interesting too. Now, this is again just a representation. It wasn't actually Iowa, but people are selling land, and I don't mean just the land where they live, but also in some cases a small town or a small city going up for sale on eBay. As far as I'm concerned, I don't think that's legal. But anyway, again, just another example of the strange and wonderful things that you can find on eBay. Let's move on to the next example. Interesting one as well. I mean, this one was selling a ghost in a jar. Careful, don't let him out. I couldn't resist. I had to throw that one down there. Again, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I'm not sure who would bid on such an item. But again, people are selling these kind of mysterious objects, and there are buyers out there. The next example is a strange one, and you're going to see a lot of this type of thing. And these are kind of celebrity type collectibles. And in this case, this is a used tissue by Tom Cruise. And for the true collector, of course. But you can really imagine, I mean, people are maybe trailing some of these actors, and we'll use Los Angeles as an example. And the moment, let's say, Tom Cruise were to drop something on the ground, they'd pick it up and sell it on eBay. eBay definitely frowns upon these types of collectibles, but sometimes they slither or sneak their way in onto the site. And this is just one variation or example of one of the items you could find. The next example, much like the hypnotic necklace, is a ring this time called a life ring. And by placing this on your toe, they tell you, and of course you have to leave it on your toe for over a year, you'll live forever. Now, again, that's quite a ludicrous claim. Maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing at this point that anyone will even put a bid in on such an item. But again, one of those strange objects for sale on eBay. The magical diet pills, of course. I mean, these you see in stores everywhere, so it's not just restricted to eBay. But again, there's magical diet pills that claim you're going to melt those unwanted pounds away. So again, not necessarily a scam per se, but just another example of the type of object or image or item, I should say, that you can purchase on eBay. Another one of those collectibles, Mick Jagger's used fork. Really for the die-hard fan in this case. So I'm going to move on to the next one. Grand Canyon dirt. So obviously someone went to the Grand Canyon, piled it all into a pail, and is now bidding or selling on eBay for anyone interested and who can't really make it to the Grand Canyon, but this may be the next best thing. So as you can see, there are so many strange and wonderful items that you can buy on eBay, but you do have to be careful. And that's why I named the section Truth or Scam. So keep your eyes open. If it seems too good to be true, it probably is. So that concludes this video on the kinds of items you can buy and sell on eBay. In the next video, we'll look at the other auction sites out there on the World Wide Web.